Just so you guys know, there's a brand new episode on my podcast, Let's Get Real, the podcast. It's for anyone. Don't forget to check it out. Available on all streaming platforms. New episodes every single Monday. And of course, my book, Mindfulness Through the Stars, is available in Target, Amazon, pretty much anywhere you can find books nationwide. Go check it out. It's a mindfulness guide to becoming a better you through your zodiac sign. And finally, Zodiac Haven is my website. There are constantly sales going on, so if you love astrology, anything, or spiritual items, go check it out. And if you're interested in anything I just mentioned, everything will be linked down below. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Ashley and I make astrology videos here on YouTube. So I haven't posted in a couple weeks and I'm so sorry about that. My energy is focused on a few things right now, so I gave myself a little mini break, but I am back. I'm so sorry that I haven't done part 2 to this video yet. I always say I'm gonna do part 2 next week. Part 2 is coming next week and then it just doesn't, and I feel so bad. So I'm gonna try my hardest to condense material into one video so I don't have to leave you hanging. It's just really hard for me because those videos end up being like 45 minutes, and yeah, I mean, I'm gonna try my hardest, but no promises yet. I'm gonna try. So in today's video, I'm gonna be talking about the zodiac signs as toxic friends. Once again, this is part 2. So in this video, I pretty much talk about the zodiac signs and what they are like when they've slipped into toxic friendship patterns. So for example, like if you have an Aquarius friend, all the traits that are toxic in an Aquarius like best friend that you're gonna be able to relate to people in your life and be like, oh, she's toxic, he's toxic. So obviously these are points to look out for that, you know, might be toxic in other people, but sometimes we need to look inwards and look at ourselves and think, hey, am I the toxic friend? And if you need a little help with guidance and clarity on who you are as a person and everything to do with your zodiac sign and spirituality, then Keen is the place for you. So if you don't know about Keen, Keen is an online website and app that gets you in touch with so many different types of psychics, clairvoyants, spiritual advisors, tarot readers, astrologers, and so much more. So if you're someone that's into the world of spirituality and astrology in general, like me, then you would absolutely love Keen because it gives you access to so many different types of people. By using Keen, you can find different types of psychics and spiritual advisors, like I mentioned, that give you clarity on things such as your love life, career, your future, your present, everything. I love using Keen to do like checkup readings on my career and just for spiritual advice in general. The advisors are available 24/7, so there's always someone online if you need some urgent advice. So if this does sound like something you'd be interested in, by clicking the link in my bio, you're gonna get a really good discount. So you're gonna get your first 10 minutes for only $1.99, which is so cheap. You can get a lot of answers in 10 minutes. You wanna know about that person in your life, if you wanna know about your career, you just have a couple of quick questions, you want a little tarot reading, 10 minutes will give you a lot of info, trust me. So just take a scroll through the website, find an advisor that's right for you, look at the ratings, look at the reviews, and take your pick. So once again, the link is in my description if you're interested, and thank you to Keen for sponsoring this video. All right, so part 2. In this video, we're talking about Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, and Taurus. In the previous video, we talked about Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, and Scorpio. Part 1 is linked in the description as well. All right, so Sagittarius as a toxic best friend. So I've had so many toxic Sagittarius in my life. I've had so many Sagittarius in my life and I love them, but sometimes they can just get a little crazy. Toxic Sagittarius friend traits. If your friend is a toxic one, they're likely to have a really big temper. They are hot-headed and they have no patience. So what I mean by this is they make you feel bad for little things, so you feel like you have to walk on eggshells around them, and it gets exhausting. So for example, if you put something away wrong, or if something spilled and it was an accident, like your Sagittarius friend could snap at you in a second and you're just like, calm down, like relax, like you can be upset but you don't need to overreact. They just like go from 0 to 100 in 3 seconds, and they get really mad and they're really big hotheads and they take things out on you, and it's not fair because they just kind of low-key, I'm sorry, have anger problems. The toxic ones, the unevolved ones. Also guys, I also want to mention that the toxic version of your sign is usually the unevolved version. So I'm not saying this is going to resonate with everyone. It's probably not. This is just for you to refer to toxic people and be like, oh, that explains their behavior. It's not only them. Like, that's what this video is for. I'm not saying all Sagittarius are this. I'm just saying that everybody has a little toxic, every sign. So this is the toxic version of your sign. Another thing about Sagittarius is that they shut down when they get upset. So sometimes it's really hard to like reason with them or just understand their perspective or get them to understand your perspective because they shut down. They don't want to hear anything. They don't want to say sorry. They don't want to hear sorry. They don't want to talk. They don't want to communicate. They just shut down.
And a lot of times they get really emotional and they get in their heads and the emotions takes over them, and they feel like they just don't want to partake in anything to do with like an argument. And you're just sitting there like, hi, can you talk to me? Like, can we talk? And they won't talk to you. It's really sad. It's really frustrating, and I don't have time for it. When they're dealing with someone that's unemotional, they get really upset because like someone like an Aquarius, they like expect the Aquarius to care, and then the Aquarius is like, I don't have time for this. Like, we either talk or we don't. And then the Sagittarius gets even more upset, and it's just like a spiral. Another trait in a toxic Sag is that they make a lot of assumptions, especially in like romantic relationships. They make so many assumptions and it's bad. Like, they come to their own conclusions before they even talk to you, and it's like they get themselves worked up over things that don't exist, and it's not a good trait. So if you're a Sag and you find yourself doing that, it's not cute. Capricorn, a toxic Capricorn is someone who gets jealous really easily. They don't really want to see you succeed. They just want to watch themselves succeed. And I mean, they might want to see you succeed and they might want to see you do well, but the Capricorn is someone that they want to see you doing good but not better than them. So they just have a lot of like jealousy issues and comparison problems, and they just like don't want to see you get to the top unless like they're ahead of you, and then they'll be like, fine, like sure, she can do good in life. Like, it's really weird. They can be very close-minded, and you can open up to them about certain things and they might not understand and just like give you half-assed responses or seem uninvested because they don't agree. They don't know how to just listen sometimes and just like be there. Sometimes they feel like they have to always have a say or have an opinion or whatever, and it just causes tension sometimes. They can be really closed off as well, so they don't always want to talk to you, express their feelings, their thoughts, emotions. If you get into an argument, sometimes it's hard to get them to like open up or talk because they're closed off, and it's really frustrating because they feel like they don't owe you an explanation. It's all pride. I find that Capricorns, they have a lot of pride sometimes, and I think that's what this is rooted in, and it gets to be really bad because it's hard to resolve things, and they seem like they just couldn't be bothered. Another thing about Capricorns is that they can be gossips sometimes. They think they're not talking shit, but they are. And they just gossip. They don't even mean to. They just like to talk about other people and relate themselves to other people, and it ends up getting very like repetitive. They can talk about the same person over and over again and not think there's anything wrong with it. Like, I find that when I'm around certain Capricorns, they just want to gossip and they don't really want to talk about things with substance. And not all are like this, like just the unevolved ones, but the ones that are, they can go on and on about people for days. Also, they can be super private, so it's really hard to feel like a Capricorn has let you in. Aquarius, that's my sign, like I always say, but we can be toxic. I'm not afraid to admit that. Aquarius can be very toxic. We have some problems with being self-centered. We relate everything back to ourselves, and the world kind of revolves around us, which is interesting. Of course, the evolved ones are not like this, but the unevolved can be very, very self-centered, and they don't even realize it. Like, they're the type to call out a Leo for being super self-centered. Meanwhile, like, they are their own version of self-centered. They're worried about themselves and their internal world, but they're not focused on other people. And the people that love them and care about them have a hard time feeling like that's reciprocated because the Aquarius is so wrapped up in their own problems and their own life that they don't pay attention to things around them sometimes. So it's like a different type of self-centered. They're not like vain and obsessed with themselves. They are just more so wrapped up in their own problems and world that they feel like their energy can't go to other things sometimes, and it's not fair. They're very bossy. If you work with one or if you're partnered with one or something like that, they can be very controlling and bossy, and they want you to do things their way, and when you don't, they feel threatened or bothered, and they feel like you're not listening, or they just get really bossy. Like, they like to control situations. I was thinking about an Aquarius just being partnered with someone and how wrong that can go, because they want to control the situation at all times. They can be really judgmental and shady. They can't help themselves sometimes. They just make dumb comments that they actually don't care about, but they just are really shady. Like, they always feel the need to say something, and again, they can't help themselves. They always have to add their 2 cents, and sometimes it's really unnecessary and causes problems, but they just feel like, oh, it's just a little comment, like it's not gonna hurt anybody. But it is hurting people, it is. And sometimes your little comments are just completely unnecessary, and it hurts people, and you don't need to say everything out loud. You don't need to say what you're thinking at all times. So just don't. Aquarius can also be very heartless. The unevolved ones lack empathy, and it's not okay because people are very caring towards Aquarius because of their like friendly nature, and Aquarius does not always reciprocate that. Pisces, the Pisces is known for being unreliable. I feel like Pisces, they want to be there for you so bad. I feel like the Pisces has every intention of being there for you, and they want to be there for you so bad, and they think that they are, but they're really just unreliable. Pisces is the kind of person that says they're going to come through or do something for you or be there in a way, and they're just not. They're just really flaky, and you can't count on them. I feel like Pisces are all talk sometimes. I really love their sign from a distance, but I can't get too close to them because I feel like I give so much more, and the Pisces is just too, what's the word, like wishy-washy, and they're just too all over the place for me that I can't be there and be fully in that relationship because it's too much for me. They're very loopy, and I love their free-spirited energy, but sometimes it just gets to be like too much, and I don't know, they're just too all over the place sometimes, that they're really focused on their own reality and what they want, and they're just like not able to be there for other people. But the problem is they're not honest about that. They lie to themselves and other people about that, and they end up taking on too much and just like letting people down all the time. They're overly emotional. They get you involved in a lot of their baggage, and they project a lot of their feelings onto you because they don't know how to control their emotions sometimes. They're also always whining, so being around a Pisces can be very negative. If you're someone that gets like sucked into negativity easily, a Pisces can give you that because they're always complaining and always whining about something, and it's exhausting. They're insecure, and they make you feel bad about their insecurities, and they're always trying to fix people. I think they focus so much on fixing other people that they don't fix themselves, and therefore have more insecurities and issues and internal conflict. But yeah, they spend a lot of their energy trying to fix people, and they end up getting disappointed all the time. Aries. The Aries is controlling. They are just so, oh my god, so controlling. Like, they feel like they have a say over everything you do in life. They like you to live your life by their standards and make you feel like if you do it any other way, you're like beneath them and you're less than, and it's just ridiculous. Oh my god, Aries are exhausting. I really like Aries, but I just feel like they're so ego driven, and they think it's like a personality trait, and they think it's cute, like, oh, like I'm just an Aries, like I'm just like I don't know how to explain it. Like, their ego is so big that they think that their big ego is attractive, and it's not. Like, confidence is so attractive, cockiness can be attractive, but when you just have too big of an ego, like I'm better than you, people are not into that. And I feel like Aries tend to like play that up even if they don't feel that way. I don't know, maybe it's like deeper rooted insecurities, I don't know, but they like to look down on people, and they don't make their friends feel good about themselves because of it. They're very reactive. If you piss them off in the slightest, they will react, and they will overreact. They won't just like, oh no, why did you do that? They're gonna cuss you out and tell you how dumb you are for doing that. Like, they overreact, and then they don't say sorry. They can be bullies. I'm sorry, they can be bullies. And it sounds like I don't like Aries, but I actually really like Aries, but they can be bullies. They can be also very arrogant and very selfish, super selfish, and they know they're selfish, but they don't actively try and change it. They just go with it. They're like, people have to cater to me. Taurus. The Taurus has super high expectations, and always unrealistic expectations that they know are unrealistic, but they decide to continue to expect certain things out of people, and then get disappointed, and then make you feel bad for their disappointment. It's a cycle that I always talk about. Like, they just expect too much and then get let down, and then get mad at you for letting them down, even though nothing was ever discussed. It was all in their head. So yeah, that can be very manipulative. They're super big know-it-alls, so they just make you feel like you're stupid half the time because they think that they know better than you at all times, and it's exhausting. They can't help themselves. Like, they always have to have an I told you so moment, I'm right moment. You could literally be like mourning your dead cat, and if they told you, I think your cat's sick 5 months ago, they'd be like, I told you your cat was sick, I wish you had just looked into it. Like, they can't help themselves. They always have to have that word in, like they always do, and it's bad. Like sometimes it's better to just keep your mouth shut. Like, I know you told me, you know you told me, let's just leave it at that. Like, I don't need you to sit here and be like, I told you 5 months ago that your cat was sick. Also, this doesn't hit close to home. Nobody told me my cat was sick, in case someone's thinking that's what happened. I don't even have a Taurus in my life that's like close circle right now. So yeah, but that's just an example. But yeah, Taurus are very like, I told you so people. Taurus are just super arrogant in that way, where they always want you to know that they said this and they're right. And they're also very inconsistent in how they maneuver the relationship. Like, you could do one thing to let them down and they're going to completely detach from you without explaining anything to you. And then once they feel better about it, then they're going to put all the effort back into the relationship and then detach. And it's really inconsistent sometimes. The toxic ones, that is. Of course, not all Taurus are like this. They also put minimal effort into certain things that they don't cherish. They don't work hard to understand, like, partners' love languages or their friends. They kind of are in their own lane and live and act and treat people according to that. Yeah, that's it. So I finally did part 2. That was, yeah, the last 6 signs. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have a toxic friend that sounds like this, be shady, send the link. Don't be shy, send them the link. But in all seriousness, if you find that you are toxic or someone is toxic, work on those traits, please. If you need some guidance, I have a book called Mindfulness Through the Stars, and this book is all about self-care and becoming the best version of you through your astrological sign. So it has like tailored questions to your zodiac sign on how to become a better person, and it's a really deep, insightful book on your zodiac sign and how to improve yourself through that. So it's a self-help book. It's really cool, it's really chill, and I like it. It has a little workbook at the back where you can like write in. It's a really cute book. I love it. It's my book, Mindfulness Through the Stars by Ashley Flores. It's linked down below, or you can buy it at your bookstore, Target, wherever. Yeah, that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to check out Keen for some clarity, wisdom, and guidance on your life. And with that being said, everything's linked below. I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.